afternoon, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the game. I'm Gio Recchia.
And I'm Connor Morris. Welcome to the Progressive Era post-game show on Populous TV. Today we will be reviewing the Progressive Party's strategy in reforming America. Throughout the game, the Progressives thought of many ways to reform America. Over the course of this broadcast, we will be discussing the social issues on the offensive side of things, political on defense, and economics covering special teams. Let's get to it.
The first area of reform was based upon the social issues of America. Some of these issues involve the poor standard of living, the mistreatment of workers, and an extreme influx of immigrants.
Yes, I agree. Since the Progressives believe strongly in the general welfare of citizens, they were able to pass laws pertaining to the safety of people.
About that, the poor people were dealing with unsanitary living conditions, not only in their homes, but in the quality of their food.
With these ideals of the general welfare of humans, the Pure Food and Drug Act was passed to ensure that everyone was not getting tarnished food.
Yes, these acts protected the common people against the unknown contaminants of the food that many lower citizens bought.
Along with the unsanitary living conditions, there was the mistreatment of workers. An example of this was the high number of hours that these employees were required to work, and the low wage that they were receiving. Even working overtime hours, employees of big businesses were not getting paid for their extra time work.
The Progressives were against the empowerment of big businesses over their workers, and also wanted to establish an 8-hour workday with additional overtime pay.
The Progressives got what they wanted in their goal to obtain a standard working day with the overtime pay that they desired on the passing of the Adamson Act.
The third and final problem that occurred in the offensive aspect of the game was the extreme influx of immigrants. Immigrants kept trying to come onto the field from what looked like an overpopulation of people in the stands.
Now, breaking from our sources, immigrants took opportunities from natural-born citizens, also crowding their living spaces. This created unsanitary conditions in slums. One way this problem was solved was with the passing of the National Origins Quota Act, which limited who could come to the country.
Now over to our Progressive Era insiders, Zach Sindel and Dylan Fossmount with their coverage of the defensive aspect of the game.
Thank you, Connor and Gio. Hello, I'm Zach Stendhal.
And I'm Dylan Fossnot.
Let's analyze the progressive strategy on reforming the political aspect of America.
Great idea. Politics in America before reform were very corrupt. Reasons for that is being businesses owners pressured their employees, and the common people did not have any political power.
To start, business owners were often influencing their employees by forcing them to vote for who they wanted to, not who the actual employee wanted to vote for. They would force them by threatening to fire them if they did not follow their guidelines.
This corruptness resulted in the passing of a secret ballot, an effective way to keep big businesses out of voting polls.
Also, many common people did not have the power that they would like to in politics, while the elite had all of the say in government. Initiative and referendum were both passed as compensation to give all people limited power in government. Initiative gave people the opportunity to propose legislation, or referendum gave people the opportunity to reject or accept legislation.
All these small reforms are just part of the big picture.
Now back to Connor and Gio with the latest on economics.
Thank you guys for informing the viewers on how crucial defense was to the game. Well done. The economy was also a major area in which the Progressives are focusing to reform. The Progressives wanted a gradual income tax, more fairness in the marketplace, and believed that banks had too much power.
First off, in the 17th Amendment, the Progressives were able to trust the government and their ability to give them their hard-earned money and to spend things that the country needed.
Exactly. By the people giving them their money, they were basically giving them more power and having full trust in the government.
The monopolization of big businesses would not allow smaller businesses to grow and flourish. By creating regulations to what big businesses could accomplish inside the marketplace, it limited the amount of competition that they would have. The Federal Trade Commission and the Clayton Act was established to deem what was fair and unfair in the economic world.
Before the Federal Reserve Act, banks would take loans out and not have enough money to pay them back. With the Federal Reserve Act, all banks that wanted to participate in this would have to pay a fee. Then their fee would go into a so-called pot, and then when they needed to take out a loan to then distribute to the common people, they take it out of the so-called pot in the Trade Commission.
That's all we have from special teams, but don't leave your seats because we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors on Populous TV.
Vote for Teddy Roosevelt. He'll make America what it once was.
That concludes the post-game show and all the acts passed today.
On the social side of things, the progressives solved the problems with poor standards of living, mistreatment of workers, and the extreme influx of immigrants with the Pure Food and Drug Act, the Adamson Act, and the National Origins Quota Act.
The political side, on defense, tackled the issues of businesses forcing their employees to vote a certain way and the lack of common people's rights in government. With the institution of the secret ballot and initiative and referendum, these problems started to become less relevant.
And the economical side on special teams. They held the problems of gradual income tax, unfairness in the marketplace, and extreme power of banks. To solve these problems, the 16th Amendment, the Federal Trade Commission, and the Clayton Act, and the Federal Reserve Act were all put in place.
That's all we got for today. Signing off, I'm Zach Stendhal.
I'm Dylan Posnot.
I'm Connor Morris.
And I'm Gio Recchia. Thank you for watching, and have a very nice rest of your day.